All right. Again, too, the indicators, you know, that they call trafficators. Interestingly, indicators as well. Sometimes you see somebody wants to go to their left, and they're indicating right. So again, when you see someone indicating, leave enough distance from that person or the car in front of you, so that in case they get it wrong and they suddenly want to turn, you are not going to bash into them. So always get the indicators on your right and left correct. You know, honking your horn. In some countries, it's allowed because it's a way for you to tell the driver in front of you or behind you where you're going. But in other countries, honking the horn is just not allowed, especially if you're in a residential area or you're in a hospital environment. They don't expect you to honk horns. And then even if you have to, because you have it anyway, be mindful not to lay your hand on it and blow it excessively.
Or play music on it.
Yeah, or play a tune on it, so to say. Parking is another thing that we need to have a lot of etiquette about, because you shouldn't double park, okay, and you shouldn't be parking in between two lanes either. If you see the line there, park within the space that you've been given. And then again, we don't expect you to park right opposite another vehicle. Don't park in front of someone's private gate, okay, because they want to come out at any point in time. You have to remember a lot of these things, because it's all about being polite on the road and being polite to other users as well. The double parking part of it is because it becomes difficult for you to even get out of the car. And then when you're parking as well, leave enough room behind another vehicle so that you can come out when you want to drive. I'm going to say again to your beaming lights when you're driving at night. Somehow people don't really realize that you are blocking or disturbing another vehicle that is on the other side. Sometimes they put on the beaming lights so bright that it becomes a total distraction.
You know, when you talk about public parking, for instance, some people will be wondering, there are no proper markings.
There isn't, yeah. So you have to have an idea. You have to really gauge between, can your door open? Can you come out of the vehicle when you finish parking? If not, then you're too close to the other vehicle.
So the thing is, whether it's properly marked or not, you also have a sense of marking.
You need to have a sense of, can your passenger come out from that side? Can you come out from the other side? Can your door open without scratching or banging another vehicle? Those are the things that you need to leave enough mark for when you're parking. Sensibility in parking makes a lot of sense. Like I said before, if you're parking behind another vehicle as well, don't park too close. Otherwise, if someone parks behind you, you're totally locked in and you won't be able to come out. I'm going to say some no-nos when it comes to driving, and this is really about when you're in your car, and we see it happen time and time again. You shouldn't be on your phone when you are driving, unless you have a hands-free set, and even at that, keep your discussion in the phone minimal. Don't have a long discussion because you have a long drive. You will be distracted. Try not to reach out for things. You know how many times you're trying to reach out for something while you're driving, either from the bonnet or from the back of the seat. You're still driving, but you're trying to pick something. It happens a lot, and you have to be very mindful, because you can it takes seconds to have an accident. It doesn't take minutes, it takes seconds, you know. And of course, eating in the vehicle as well, a fast one, a quick breakfast, a quick lunch, should not just park for a few seconds. Take your bite.
It's actually against the law in Lagos to
Absolutely,
eat while
you can't be eating while you're driving. Anywhere in the world, really, you should not be eating while driving. Definitely not texting as well. Some people will tell you that they're masters of texting and they can do it in seconds. Like, again, it takes seconds to have an accident. So you shouldn't be seen texting at all. Some people can do it, some people still do it, but you shouldn't. Even if you feel an alert has come in, when you stop driving, then you can attend to your phone. Applying makeup, you're in the office, you're about to get to the office, and you're doing a quick one as well. No matter how quick the makeup application is, park and do that. Shaving as well, we've seen quick shaves, you know, because you forgot to shave when leaving the house. Absolutely, everything happens. No, park the car. Do what you have to do before you enter the vehicle and do any of that at all.
Just a quick one. So imagine a driver who's sensitive enough to realize he has passengers and he has a call, and it's like a call he needs to answer, and he says to the people, "Excuse me, please, I need to take this call." And the passengers say, "No, we have to go."
So that's a commercial vehicle.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, especially when you're driving a commercial vehicle, you really need a lot of driving etiquette because you've got so many lives in your hands.
Yeah.
You have to wait and take that call. How do you know who's calling you unless you look at the phone?
No,
How would you know
sometimes they use it's like a map.
Okay, it's a,
they're using the
well,
GPS
the
and
case,
all of that.
You still have to. No. Well, you're obliged once you've got a passenger load of. Your car is full of passengers, you're obliged to take them to where they're going and take the call after. You know, there are times when you love listening to music in your car and you want to change the CD or change, you know, you can't be driving trying to change the CD or the cassette or something. You have to literally park and attend to that.
All right.
You know.
At that point, we'll just take a quick one. We'll come back to round up with Janet. Please do not go away. Welcome back. A closing moment with Janet.
Yeah, I want to actually wrap up by saying, do you know what? When we have people in the vehicle with us that we're driving, I want to emphasize the fact that we need to be careful with excessive talking. Now, yes, there's no way. People are talking to you while you're driving. And sometimes you're a master of driving, so you can drive and talk at the same time. But don't get into an argument while you're driving, because sometimes you get yourself worked up and you become distracted with what's going on around you. And it can happen. Maybe the kids are talking to you as well. You're trying to pay attention to the children. You need to be careful. Minimize your talking while you're in the car. You can respond, but you can't have a full discussion while you're driving because you need to stay alert at all times. Sometimes accidents happen because you're talking and sometimes you do a spontaneous left turn or a right turn or you're looking at the back and you can have accidents like that. So be mindful of excessive talking while you're in the car. Just spontaneous talking. The argument part of it, keep your argument to when you get home or wherever. Don't have that argument. And you could be getting annoyed. Yeah, somebody could say something to you and you get yourself worked up. You have to be mindful. Even though you're driving and you're not touching anything, the fact that you're working up your mind can definitely distract you. And when you're driving, you need
and lead to an accident.
Alert. Yeah. Yes, all the time, full alert. Yes, we all have so many experiences when it comes to driving.
Janet Adetu, remember, don't answer calls when you're driving. Especially, do not text when you're driving.
Absolutely.
You
what do you
cannot
think is the right length of time to learn driving, to be honest? What's the right length?
It
you know, in some
depends.
countries it's 1 year, it's 2 years, it's 3 years, you know.
In my country, it's probably 2 months.
If at all.
It depends.
Yeah.
It depends on the person's learning ability. But indeed, there has to be a standard.
There has to be a driving
because
standard.
the learning period is actually different from the period when you're supposed to take an exam and get your license.
Oh my God.
So the learning period needs to be standardized,
Yes.
and indeed the courses need to be standardized.
Yes.
And then some state governments are actually trying to standardize their own learning processes.
Yeah.
Then the process of getting your license. A friend of mine was turned down. She used to drive here before she relocated. And she had to take that test, I think, 3 times.
Yeah,
and why did they refuse her a license? Because of parking.
Yes, it's not just parking.
Parking. She couldn't park. You know how you park on the curb straight?
Park reverse.
That line.
In reverse.
In reverse. Park in reverse and align.
And within the bay. And sometimes it could just be because the way you took a roundabout, you didn't look at the right-hand side or the left-hand side to see your oncoming vehicle. So driving culture is important.
When I did
and I think we should all have refresher tests, you know?
When I did my driving test in Benue Plateau State, I actually had to drive through drums.
Wow.
Like zigzag.
Maneuvering.
Then after doing that, I was now told to park backwards.
Right.
You know, there was a gap between 2 cars and I was told park. And I just, in one move, went in and straightened my steering wheel and, you have passed.
Good.
You did that very well.
And finally, how do you think you should
that's
stop
the one that gets people into
your
trouble.
vehicle? Because some people put it in gear and some people don't. And I want to really say that when you learn driving, they'll tell you, put your gear in neutral.
Yes.
All right? But then this depends very much on whether you're on a slopy hill or the ground is undulating. If not, then you put your car in gear.
If you're on a slope.
If you're on a slope.
Yes, yes.
So, great.
Thank you very much, Janet.
Thank you.
Sunrise will be right back with the home stretch. Don't go away.
Let's go have us some gold.